Everyone witnessed it. Everyone felt it. When Kody Brown, who has long called himself the head of the Brown family, turned to his son Garrison and delivered a remark so icy, so dismissive, it shattered the surface of the sister wives universe. We watched him lash out at Janelle, his partner for 30 years, reducing their decades-long relationship to a single outburst over loyalty. The confrontations with Gabriel, the tearful arguments that unfolded publicly, have become the moments that define the family's unraveling. But all along, we've been focused on the wrong battles. We've fixated on the loud, explosive clashes, while the real rupture, the earthquake beneath it all, happened quietly. It was a subtle war fought not with shouting but with cold looks, simmering resentments, and the unspoken resistance of a son unwilling to inherit his father's throne. The son Kody never yells at. The one child exempt from public criticism, Logan, and the reason is simple: Kody is intimidated. The story we've been told paints the conflicts with the older sons as a recent development, sparked by pandemic tensions or Kody's obsession with his life with Robin. In truth, that was only the eruption of a tension that had been simmering for more than 10 years. The original conflict was a battle of ego, a psychological struggle between a father desperate to prove his authority, and a son who naturally commands respect without even trying. This is the tale of Kody versus Logan, the father who craves the spotlight, and the son whose quiet competence casts an unspoken judgment on all of his father's bluster. To understand the Brown family's collapse, we must start with the moment Kody looked at Logan and realized he was not a reflection of his own achievements but something greater. He saw not a son but a rival. The battlefield is the family's hierarchy, a complex web of roles and expectations. Kody has spent his life constructing an image, patriarch, ruler, the center of the universe around which his wives and children revolve. Authority in his mind is absolute and unquestionable. He speaks of family unity but only under his control. He demands respect, but what he really wants is unquestioning loyalty. His leadership is a performance, a kingdom in miniature, and he casts himself as the unquestioned monarch. His masculinity is loud, defined by grand gestures, flashy cars, and dramatic monologues. A man who truly commands respect doesn't need to announce it. Logan, from the very beginning, embodied that quiet authority. Even as a teenager, Logan was the calm in the storm Kody created. While Kody flailed to the cameras with plans and proclamations, Logan acted. He packed, organized, and managed younger siblings with ease. The small, unscripted moments revealed his influence: scraped knees, toy disputes, homework questions. Logan was the one children and even his siblings turned to. The mothers noticed too. When Kody presented a chaotic plan, their eyes instinctively flicked to Logan, silently seeking reassurance. He became the anchor amid the chaos. To Kody, however, Logan was not a helpful son. He was a threat. Every time the family deferred to Logan, Kody's ego was bruised. He had built his identity on being the problem solver, the indispensable patriarch. Logan's quiet competence exposed the illusion. The king was not indispensable, the son had become the true stabilizer. This tension reached a peak during the breakfast scene in Las Vegas. Kody rushed frantically around the kitchen, loud and chaotic, performing the role of father for the cameras. Logan, by contrast, moved with calm precision, cooking for the family while the younger kids clustered around him. The wives assisted him, naturally forming a team under his guidance. Visually, the scene told the story. Kody was spectacle, Logan was leadership. Logan did not need recognition. His worth was evident in his actions. Kody, dependent on external validation, was threatened. Kody could not confront Logan for being capable. Criticizing his son would be to expose his own shortcomings. Instead, his resentment solidified into a quiet, unyielding disapproval. He waited for a moment when Logan would need him, a moment that never arrived. Logan's rejection of his father's authority extended beyond mere disagreements. In the family's hierarchical, polygamous system, the firstborn son is the heir, meant to continue the dynasty. Kody viewed Logan as the crown prince, his living proof of success. But the responsibility Kody placed on Logan did not cultivate loyalty, it inspired rejection. Logan observed the family's chaos, financial strain, and emotional volatility. The crown symbolized burden, not prestige. He chose a life with Michelle built on equality, rejecting polygamy and the faith that underpinned Kody's authority. He pursued secular education and career success, distancing himself from the world his father revered. Each of Logan's achievements further confirmed Kody's failure to shape him. For Kody, a narcissist, this was more than a difference of opinion, it was a profound personal blow. Logan, once the golden child meant to reflect his father's greatness, had now repudiated it. Insider reports suggest a conversation during Logan's college years sealed the divide. Kody likely tried to persuade him to remain connected to the faith, Logan, calmly but firmly, refused. No argument, no shouting, just a quiet, unyielding decision. That moment marked the start of the silent feud. Kody's perception shifted. Logan was no longer his son and heir, but a challenger, a mirror reflecting his failures. This estrangement is evident in public events. At Logan and Michelle's wedding, the family celebrated openly, yet Kody's presence was minimal, often relegated to the background. On social media, the pattern persists. The older children's posts rarely feature Kody. He occupies a separate world with Robyn and their children. While the narrative suggests Kody allowed Logan to go his own way, the reality is that Logan created boundaries, methodically removing his father from his life. Kody's need for attention, drama, and validation went unanswered. Logan offered no conflict, no emotional ammunition, no leverage. He simply moved on. Logan's actions inspired his siblings. He created a model for independence and healthy detachment. The boys Logan, Hunter, Garrison, and Gabriel formed their own unit, supporting one another and establishing their own authority. Logan became the de facto leader of this group, guiding them in navigating their father's volatility and demonstrating how to maintain self-respect while loving the family. Today, the Brown family exists into separate spheres. Kody, Robyn, and their children inhabit a controlled bubble, while the older siblings form a connected, thriving network under Logan's quiet guidance. Christine and Janelle, when leaving Kody, drew strength from this network. Kody may hold the title of patriarch, but the work of leading, supporting, and holding the family together has long belonged to Logan. The silent war between father and son has already been won. What remains is the aftermath of Kody's quiet defeat. By attempting to mold Logan and reacting with narcissistic injury instead of pride, Kody created the son he feared. Logan is now the model of integrity, leadership, and stability for his siblings, a father figure in practice, if not in title. The battle for the Brown family's soul was fought and decided long before the cameras recorded the public collapse. Kody may have wanted the crown of patriarch, but in the end, Logan became the man Kody only pretended to be. Everyone saw it and everyone felt it. The moment Kody Brown, the self-proclaimed patriarch of the Brown family, turned to his son Garrison and spoke with a cold, cutting detachment, something inside the family universe shifted irreversibly. We witnessed him explode at Janelle, his wife of 30 years, reducing their shared history to a heated argument over loyalty. The conflicts with Gabriel, raw and tear-filled, have become some of the most defining moments in the family's public story. But we've been focused on the wrong battles. The loud, dramatic outbursts are easy to notice, but the real fracture began quietly. It was a silent struggle, waged through cold looks, unspoken resentment, and the steady refusal of one son to accept his father's authority. That son is Logan, the one Kody never publicly confronts. The reason is simple: Kody is intimidated by him. Most narratives suggest the clashes with the older sons are a recent development, triggered by pandemic stress or Kody's obsession with his life with Robyn. In reality, these conflicts are the visible symptom of a tension that has been building for over a decade. The first and most significant battle wasn't about rules, household responsibilities, or the cameras. It was a clash of egos, a psychological contest between a father desperate to be seen as the king of his domain, and a son who, effortlessly, earned the respect of everyone around him. This is the story of Kody versus Logan, a father who performs leadership through drama and declaration, and a son whose quiet competence highlights the emptiness of that performance. Logan's strength isn't loud or demanding, it's calm, steady, and undeniable. And it's that very strength that has made him the one person in the Brown family who can never be truly challenged by Kody. To understand why Logan holds such quiet power in the Brown family, you have to look at the hierarchy Kody has spent decades building. In his mind, he is the unquestioned leader, the patriarch around whom his wives and children revolve. Authority isn't something he earns, it's something he demands. Family unity to Kody always means unity under him. He craves admiration, not respect. His masculinity is loud, performative, a constant announcement of dominance through dramatic gestures, flashy cars, and high-energy speeches to the cameras. True authority, however, is subtle, earned, and unshakable, and that is exactly what Logan embodies. Even as a teenager, Logan was the calm center of the chaos Kody created. While Kody flailed with grand visions, half-baked plans, and emotional declarations, Logan simply acted. He packed boxes, managed younger siblings, and handled the logistics his father could never master. The small, unguarded moments reveal his influence. Scraped knees? Logan, homework or toy disputes? Logan, he became the default mediator, the anchor for both children and parents. The mothers noticed too when Kody announced another chaotic plan. Their eyes would flick to Logan. silently asking, "Can this even work?" Logan was the steady hand in a whirlwind. But to Kody, Logan's competence wasn't a comfort, it was a threat. Every time a sibling or wife deferred to Logan, every time someone sought his guidance instead of Kody's, it undermined the patriarch's carefully constructed image. He didn't see a responsible son supporting the family, he saw a rival, an unintentional usurper. Kody's leadership is theatrical. Logan's is practical. Kody believes forceful pronouncements bend reality. Logan proves results without announcing them. This contrast fueled a slow-burning jealousy that simmered under the surface for years. The pattern became unmistakable during family moments like the Las Vegas breakfast scene. Kody rushed frantically, creating chaos, performing fatherhood for the cameras. Logan, calm and methodical, cooked for the family, coordinated the younger children, and organized the flow of the room. The wives gravitated naturally toward him, creating a team that operated efficiently under his quiet guidance. The visual story was clear. Kody's performance contrasted sharply with Logan's real leadership. Logan didn't need validation. His value was evident in action. Kody, dependent on applause and attention, felt diminished. Kody could never confront Logan directly. How could he criticize a son for being responsible, capable, and respected? Instead, he internalized the resentment, letting it harden into a cold, persistent disapproval. He waited for a moment when Logan would need him, a moment that never came. Logan's quiet, consistent strength became a mirror reflecting everything Kody claimed to be but never truly embodied. As Logan grew older, the divide between him and his father deepened. In the structure of a polygamous family, the firstborn son is meant to inherit the legacy, the responsibilities, and the authority of the patriarch. Kody envisioned Logan as the heir, his reflection in human form, a polished extension of himself who would carry forward the family name, the faith, and the principle of plural marriage. Logan was supposed to step into the crown, a living symbol of Kody's success as a patriarch. But Logan saw it differently. From a young age, he was given immense responsibility, not as a choice, but as necessity. He became the de facto third parent, babysitter, tutor, mediator, and organizer in a household of 18 children. While Kody imagined this would cultivate loyalty and leadership, it instead gave Logan an unfiltered view of the realities of his father's kingdom. He saw the strain, the constant juggling, the emotional turbulence, the rivalries between wives, and the chaos that Kody so often masked for the cameras. The crown, in Logan's eyes, was not power, it was burden. Eventually, Logan made a deliberate decision that would redefine their relationship. He rejected the life his father had designed. He chose monogamy over polygamy, a partnership with Michelle founded on equality rather than doctrine. He rejected the faith that had justified Kody's authority, choosing a secular path focused on education and a career outside the insular world he was raised in. Each milestone, academic achievements, professional success, and a life built on rational choice, was a quiet repudiation of Kody's worldview. For Kody, this wasn't a disagreement, it was a personal affront. In the mind of a narcissist, a child isn't an independent person but an extension of the parent, meant to validate their greatness. Logan had once fit that role perfectly, responsible, capable, respected, the golden child. But by rejecting the crown and the faith, Logan inflicted a profound narcissistic injury. Kody didn't see a son pursuing happiness. He saw a deliberate act of rebellion, a mirror held up to the inadequacies of his own life. Insider whispers suggest a pivotal, unfilmed moment during Logan's college years solidified the divide. Kody may have tried to persuade him to remain engaged with the family's faith, appealing to duty and legacy. Logan, calm and resolute, refused. There was no shouting, no dramatic confrontation, just a firm, polite, and unyielding no for Kody. That quiet refusal was worse than any tantrum. It marked the moment he realized he could not control his son, could not shape him into the heir he had imagined. The firstborn had not only rejected the crown, he had rejected the king. From that point forward, Kody's attitude toward Logan shifted. Love turned to cold, distant politeness. Emotional warmth was withdrawn. The silent feud between father and son had begun, not with screaming or public arguments, but with the deliberate act of autonomy from Logan, a clear, permanent boundary Kody could neither breach nor ignore. Logan's quiet independence didn't just affect his relationship with Kody. It reshaped the entire Brown family dynamic. By choosing a life apart from his father's authority, he set a precedent for his siblings. The boys Logan, Hunter, Garrison, and Gabriel formed their own alliance. A network bound not by obedience to Kody but by mutual respect and shared experience. Logan became the de facto leader, guiding his brothers with the same calm authority he had demonstrated since childhood. He taught them that love for family didn't require submission to a volatile, controlling figure. The contrast between the two sides of the family is stark. On one hand, Kody, Robyn, and their children live in a controlled environment where loyalty and obedience are demanded. On the other, the older siblings maintain a connected, thriving network where leadership is earned, trust is mutual, and respect is genuine. Logan serves as the hub, the center of gravity for the original Brown children. He advises not just on practical matters, but on navigating the emotional landmines left by their father. When Garrison and Gabriel struggled under Kody's erratic behavior, Logan provided guidance, showing them how to establish boundaries and protect their well-being without abandoning family. Logan's leadership extends to life events, too. At his wedding with Michelle, the celebration was full of love and support from family. But Kody's presence was minimal. He was a guest, not a figure of authority. The older children's social media posts reflect the same pattern. Logan is central, Kody peripheral. The narrative Kody might promote that he let Logan go is misleading. The truth is that Logan created the boundaries that excluded Kody, consciously removing him from the decision-making, the emotional center, and the daily life of his own family. He didn't banish his father with anger. He simply prioritized peace, stability, and a life free from drama. This deliberate withdrawal delivered the ultimate defeat to Kody. Narcissists rely on attention, conflict, and control to validate themselves. Logan offered none of these. He remained polite, emotionally distant, and consistently self-reliant, forcing Kody to turn his focus elsewhere. Logan's example inspired his siblings, showing them that independence and self-respect were possible even within the complicated web of the Brown family. In essence, there are now two families. Kody may hold the official title of patriarch, but the older children operate as a self-sufficient unit with Logan at the helm. Christine, Janelle, and other family members have drawn strength from this network, proving that the actual leadership and emotional cohesion no longer rests with Kody. Logan provides the support, guidance, and example that Kody never could, embodying the role of patriarch in practice if not in name. Ultimately, the silent war between Kody and Logan has long been decided. The battle for control and influence was fought years ago, and Logan emerged victorious not through drama, confrontation, or shouting, but through quiet, consistent competence and integrity. Kody may have wanted to be the unchallenged head of the family, but in reality, it is Logan who has become the true leader, the man his father could only pretend to be.